So we're gonna start with in-app purchases. I already did a video on in-app purchases of subscriptions. So this is for the game Magic Hunters, and I'm trying to figure some stuff with subscriptions. And I was double checking on leaderboard stuff because we're gonna do leaderboards if we have time towards the end for like level for level. But we're gonna start with the player. Okay. We gonna go, and I'm gonna dive deep into subscription in a. Let me show you what we have so far. Okay, so when in-app purchase, you have the script. And I have a full video on going through all the code, but I added subscription. So if there's, we check every time the game starts, we check in-app purchases, real world purchases. We go through all the items that you own on Meta. And if there's an error, we just continue to check subscription. If we don't have an error, we go through and see, okay, do you have this bundle? I just created these bundles. And then if we do, we're going to give it to the player. And we are only going to give one bundle per. So if you don't get the bundle, you can come back. But most of the times, players only have one bundle that they purchased outside the game. But if they for some reason, purchase multiple ones, or they got gifted a bunch of bundles, they'll have to log in again and again. But there's other ways to fix this later. But that's for now. We check subscription. If it goes through all these and it doesn't find anything that it needs to consume, and we do consume the item and we do get an error. If we don't get an error, we grant the package. Then after that, regardless, we check subscriptions. So that's the end of everything. So regardless of what happens with the in-app purchases check, we're gonna run through subscriptions. Okay. And so this is how subscriptions done in Meta. We first grab the token from the user. And once that's done, okay, and there's no errors, if it's errors, we've had a problem, we're done. If we don't have a problem, okay, we'll access the user token. Okay, so we have the data. Okay, this is the user that's actually playing the game. And then I debug this to make sure it's happening. We actually we use that token to access their subscription data, okay, just for that player. And up to here, it's all what Meta's documentation. After this, it's up to you to use that data to grab the information that you need. So what we do is we do an enumerator where we are going to wait for things to get done so we can do them in order. So we check for subscription status first, okay, and we wait until that's completed. Once that's completed, we then save the data. What happened when I first learned about this and I was trying to iterate through and debug the subscription information, what happened is I tried to save the data here when it was all done. But the problem was that it was out of order. So it was saving incorrect information. So I had to do this, wait till it's complete and then save it. I know it sounds super simple and obvious, but it wasn't obvious when I was writing the code. And then we update the subscription, we're done. Okay, so that's pretty simple, but this is part of the hard part. And what happens is you have the URL. This is what Meta gives you for the URL to check on the subscription for that user token. You have to go to this URL, and the parameters is the access token that you got from the player from Meta, and then the fields that you're trying to get. Okay, so I'm trying to get the SKU, the owner, if it's active, if it's in trial, and the next renewal date, the next time it'll. Okay, so all this is information that I want to keep here to see, to double check, and to save on the back end. So that way, if anyone has problems with their subscription, I can check this information and say, okay, this is when it's renewing. This is when it's that. Usually they have that information on their status for their subscriptions on Meta, but this is good to have to make sure that it's accurate, and we can display that in the game if we need to, or if you want to do specific things with it. Okay, so we have the response, we get the parameters as strings, and then this is the full response. It's a long message. And I also checked the status code, because if this is wrong for some reason, some of the stuff is off, the response status might be unsuccessful, and so it won't iterate all this. And so that's why I debug to make sure first that you are actually getting the status that you needed, and then the response. Okay, now we have a JSON string, so we wait again. All this is async. Okay, so we have the ability to wait until things are done. And so, for example, we have this async information. And then if it's all successful, let's read the string. Let's put it as a JSON format. And then we have the subscription as a data object. We have the data in one, and then the rest, this is how it's stored, the object. Okay, so that's a subscription. And in here, I debug it to make sure it's all like correctly organized, because it's a JSON object. So then we have different parts of that data. We have if it's active, we have the value. If it's active, we have if it's in trial. Okay, and this one, oh, because this one is a debug. I don't need that. But at one point, I was trying to test these, because in the back end, I was buying the subscription, I was canceling, renewing. These are all edge cases with subscriptions. If you have a 7-day trial, a month trial, whatever it is, you will have. Let me check. So we have subscription. We have edge cases. This takes care of most of the edge cases that you need with subscription. So the first tidbit, I'm like, okay, I check the local our database that we have, and it said, okay, we grab all the information as is right now. Okay, so we have the information saved. Now we say, okay, if the renewal date is less than right now, like if the date is past in the past, it's not right now, then the trial is done. Like we don't have any, because even if the trial is only for the beginning. So let's say this is like way after the trial, or if it's before, like if it's during the trial, then this will take care of the trial. It's like it's false. There will never be a renewal date that went through, trials still going. So you just remove the trial, and then the subscription is active as false. Okay. So if there's no renewal date, this is for when it expired. Because what happens is if the player doesn't pay the subscription, the renewal date will never update. Let's say the player is still trying to play, but never updating the subscription. Okay, so instead of checking if it's active or not, I just check, is the renewal date previous? No? Okay, then this is false and we're done. If the subscription is active because of like the renewal date is new, we're gonna do a bunch of other stuff, because there's times where the subscription might not be active, but it's in trial, or it's in trial but the subscription is active or not. Like there's a lot of parameters, and I don't want to assume that Meta has it correctly. And so what I do is I check the renewal date because that always is updating based on what's going on. So this is for that case because when I checked is subscription active, it was very hard to debug. So this is how I found out the best way to check for trial is trial over. And this accounts for also when they don't renew. Okay, so if they do have a subscription that's active, we check, okay, when is the renewal date and when is the last reward date. So this is specifically if you have a reward that you give out every month for the subscription, you want to use this. I'm not going to do that yet, so I don't need this. But this was in case you wanted to do every month and you wanted to renew, like when they're renewing their subscription, they get something new every month when that comes up. This is good for retention. If you want them to keep the subscription, that's something you can do. Okay, so, but I'm not going to use it for my game, but I like to have it there so that I know if I need it, I can bring it back and use that feature to do that. Otherwise, it's everything is fine the way it is, right? So this is specifically for trial, and this is specifically for checking monthly rewards. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay, so we have owned. If we get to the end, if this is not the status code is not like there's nothing, like if the response is wrong or inaccurate, then we just turn everything off. Okay. Okay, let's see the other. So that's the subscription. And now we're gonna add the subscription information because we also have the claim subscription currency. That's if you wanted to, and we might use that in a little bit, but by subscription, this is when you're actually like wanting to pay for it. So it's the same similar checkout flow. The SKU is going to be ArchMage, so you're going to be able to be an ArchMage by doing the subscription. And we're going to do all the similar things, but you're going to buy it and then you're going to check the subscription. Okay. Okay, so we're going to use this by subscription, and we need an action callback. Okay. So we're going to go in this guy, and we're going to use the UI to unlock subscription. So two things that I'm going to do for my subscription is unlock the left side of the spells so that you can have twice as many spells. And I'm also going to give you the currency, the premium currency in the game. Every day you can get some. And so let me go in here, check where I need to new. So we have this. We have the spells. The first place we're gonna put this on here. So if we have the spells tab, so what happens is on the left side, if you don't have the spells, it will not work. So let me check. Spells load controller. Okay, I think this will do. If it gets too much, we'll adjust. But let me see. Setup. And then read here. Spell. I go to the bottom here and the region. Okay, so we're gonna. So we have in this region subscription checks, and so that way we can simplify things. And the setup on enable, we're gonna have to look for the subscription as well. So in here also, let's do it at the top. I'll clean this up later, but we'll have subscription UI. And then we have subscription. Okay. So let's say we have a subscription panel. Okay. And in here, let's see, do we have, I just want to double check, subscription data. Let me see if we use this. I don't even know. Okay, so we do check if subscription is active, so that's good. What we can do is here, we can just do a function that says check subscription check. And then, so if subscription data is active, if subscription is active, yes or no, like it's either is or it's not. If it's active, regardless if it's trial or not, we're gonna unlock left side. So we're gonna left side of spells. So this is your left hand. So the idea is that if you wanted to do like right now, if you have one spell on the right side, it will do it for both. But if you wanted to alternate and have another spell equipped on the left side, shoot this and you do that. So you can mix match on left and right side, so that you can double up, or you can just do more spells, and so that way it gives you more things to do while playing the game. But I'm not locking, like you can still cast spells on your left hand. It's just that they mimic spells on the right. So we're gonna have we have the, what did we say we called it? Subscription panel. So subscription panel dot set active. So we unlock it, so it's false. Let's say we return. Okay, so if this happens, we unlock it. If not, we have the subscription panel active. So this is just a way of saying it's either locked or unlocked. And then this subscription panel is going to have a button to then buy subscription. Okay, so buy public void buy subscription. And then we'll do okay, so we'll go back up and we'll say we have serialize field, and we said we needed void, I think it's void event channel. So this channel is the one that's gonna, oh no, so void with callback, because we want something with callback. So this is what's gonna send to the game, to the other side, that the subscription was bought. Okay, or send a message to buy the subscription. So it's subscription by event channel. Okay. Let me fix these so that they're, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we're gonna go down here. We're gonna erase the event. The other thing that we need is boolean that says making. Okay, so we have a purchase, and so the moment we hit buy, if we're making a purchase, we're gonna return, so that way we don't double up things. Then we say making purchase equals true, just as a safe measure. And then we have a void buying results, we can call it. And this will take a boolean for a response, like a success, what did they actually buy it, and then string response. Okay, And the reason you're like, well, how do you know what the response is going to be? It's because I created this event. So this event channel has a callback, and all my callbacks have this action, which has a boolean and a string. That's because every action has an accept or reject or like something happened. I want to know what happened. I want to know why. And so all callbacks usually, even if I don't need it, I do it just to be safe. Did it fail? Yes or no, and the reason. Okay, that's all I need for the most part. I don't think I ever need more than that. If I do, I just create something else. But that's the callback. Okay, so we have the buy subscription, and if I put that here, it will be fine, and it won't complain. So now, when I raise the event, I check how many, and then it'll send that message, and it will come back and tell me if it actually happened or not. So if it was successful, say successful, it's a um, return, return, check. Um, uh, okay. So divine result. So let's see. So we have making purchase, subscription, buying result. Let's see what I want to do with it. If I do buy the subscription, we can do this again. Instead of having to like enable or disable, we can just check this again for the buying subscription. We can, if we want to, I have this pop-up manager that I can tell the player, display message and say, congrats, you are now an archmage. So I can do that. And then if I have a problem, it's not successful, I can say, I can give the response as to why it happened. Okay, so that's the setup. Okay, now we're gonna do the UI for it. Oh, and connect it. Okay, so now we're gonna go in here and set all this up for the subscription. Reach. So we have in here left hand spells, and we said we needed a panel. And the way these, let me see if I can press these or not. You can try to press them, it won't do any good. But one thing that we can do is disable these by default and then enable them as we go. That is what I do. But for now, let's say we're just going to do the panel. Encryption panel. Make sure that we have. Okay, so we have the full. I usually like to make sure that this is aligned with that, in case we need it in anywhere, because usually they'll start lining up, and I'll show you in a second. So we'll have an image, UI image, background. Most part, we can have the same background that these guys. So we have this. The other thing we can do is we can this, or we can cover it, or we can just do layovers. So like, let's see how it works. First, we're gonna text mesh. Gonna try to line it up. I know this is a little bit uncomfortable. And we can also do this. Disable. We could also do a prefab. This is what it's. Okay. Have this. Gonna go with stuff that we already have. We'd like to let it scale by itself if it needs to. Okay, so what do we want to say? Do we want to say it in red? I don't know. Subscription. Needed. So we need subscription. Or join our mages. Oh, and equip left hand spells. Only, let's say only arch mages can equip left hand spells. And maybe we do need the, because it's annoying. Okay, so we have this, and then else. Okay, so we have that. Okay. And then we want to have a button. Let's just copy one of these buttons. I think I have. Let me see the bundles. Okay, so we have these 5 buttons. That's good. I'm gonna buy this one. So instead of buy, let's just say buy subscription buy button, and then have this here. Okay, so this will hold. It will buy. So let's go in the spell tab here. Have the buy subscription. Okay, so we this is gonna buy the subscription and it's gonna hold for a second. So it's gonna take a second to load. You'll see in here it'll do this. Maybe we could do a different color. I don't know if it's more visible to do something like this. I don't know. But for now, black is fine. And so look, then we have, instead of saying buy, I'm gonna say join or become. I don't know, join arc or something. Then we have this. This is not scaling. Why? Okay, so we have. The problem is that I wonder if this is scaling too. Okay, so let me make sure. Only problem. Make sure big so you can't miss it. Let me see. Now it's scaling. Join. Let me take out this. Sure that off. Go. Oh yeah, the interaction. I need to make sure the thing with these is that the box, the collide. So this is how it triggers them. So we have the button. Put it back. We have this, and it's tied to the buy interaction, buy subscription. Okay, and then in here we have our canvas subscription panel. Get the event description. Have that right here. So the only thing that worries me is this right here. So we have this, but for now we're trying to get it to work. Okay, so this on its own will work. Now let's say you don't want to join. Well, you just leave it as is. But let's see what we can do. Button data, the right hand. Let's say left button title. Okay, so let's go back, and now if here we're gonna just set up. I'm gonna set up those objects left bells and here. Oh, whoops! There's another one for left hand spells. Spell left hand spell spell. Oh. If their subscription is active, the panels will set to true. If not, we'll set it to false just to make sure. Oh, go back here and we just have to assign it. And that's pretty much it for subscription. Okay. And the thing is that subscription is gonna do a lot of good for the game because then you can focus on what is important for the game. Working correctly. I have spells. Okay, there you go. Awesome. Okay, we have this. Sure that we hear the listeners. Economy, purchase subscription, buy subscription. So that's where we were at before checking the subscription. And now purchases, subscription data, it's all tied together. And so they buy the subscription. And again, we have this callback. Give us the results. So that is set, and I'm gonna do another episode maybe or another video with the subscription in detail, but I think this much pretty much covers that. I also have the show you again because I need to re-enable stuff, but let me show you. We also have the selection panel. Oh no, this is a spells. Currency tab. So in here we do have the buy options, and it's the same format as we have spell, buy, and here we buy the Mystic Rubies for the 1,000. We hold it and it'll send it to the in-app purchase. Okay, so we have that going, and this is really all there is to it. And I'm probably gonna cut this video and use it for a different content later on too. But oh, have now this. This set up. Now I need here. Set up. Okay, so now we can do a leaderboard. So let's do, I'm gonna do a little bit of leaderboards, and then I think that'll be good for today. Kind of short because I have other things that I have to do today, but this is like, I'm trying to help people finish games and actually be successful. Like it like it's pretty straightforward. I have this intro dungeon. So this is where, no, not this one. Central room where people are gonna be like joining in, connecting with others, whatnot. So in here, let's just do a leaderboard. Cube leaderboard. Uh, or background or something. I don't know what to call it. Just have in like just be black. Let's see what let's get some art, environment, material. I just black. Okay, so this hopefully work. Okay, have that. Let me. Oh, it's actually big. And we have. We're gonna. Let's make it a prefab just for later. Leader. Level leaderboard. For okay. For leaderboard. On level. Okay. And in here, instead of doing UI 3D Pro, oh, leaderboard, and I gotta double check to see. Yeah, I gotta see if I gotta what I show. I'd like to auto size 100. I'm gonna format this eventually, but for now it will be like something like one, or yeah, we'll have a title. I always we'll have the leaderboard and we'll have leaderboard title. It'll be like, or I duplicated, but what it is. Okay, so we have the leaderboard level leader, and in here it would be like one, and then the level, right? Like level. Look at that. Right. And then we might break it up so that it does that instead. Okay. So we're just trying to see how it'll format. So that's 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then if you wanted to, you could do it some other way. We can also change the colors and whatever. There's also going to be unlimited levels, so I got to check how when oh no kinds of levels. Okay, so that's usually what I do is I just fill it out super long to double check. Okay, that's where it breaks. So, but no one will have 9,900. Okay, so maybe I'll figure something out for that. Well, that like that. So I break that. Maybe I'll add one less space. So that way 999,000 is a I mean you can go up farther than that because it's uncapped right now. The cap is the largest number that you so we have this prefab. Now we gotta actually do the leaderboard stuff. I think I have a script. I have no idea if it's gonna work the same way. We also have to have our position, right? So we have this. We have the leaderboard, and then we have um, our positions. My position in the leaderboard. So if you're not in the top 10, obviously you're gonna want uh, to know where you're at. So you're gonna look something like this, like 99, and then my display name, level, yeah, whatever. That is, and eventually I'll add colors to make it all so that they can tell what they're reading. Maybe their name will stand out. Anyway, so so you have the place, the name, and the level. Play name. I'm gonna separate it a little bit to give it some clarity as to the placement. Same with these, probably a little bit. This is okay, this or not. Better, but we go. Okay, so we have that. We have the display. So we have the text for the leaderboard, my position text, the leaderboard name. We'll call it level leaderboard, and we have to set it up on the back end. So let me go back to tab. We progression. Okay, so we have dollar value, survival time. Okay, we're gonna have a new one. The statistics name is level. Reset frequency, never manually. Always update with the new value. So the higher the number, the bigger. So save. Okay, so we have that now. So the level. Okay, so we're gonna create where we add to the value or we set the value. So here I believe we have an automation already for that. Add stat, set stat, that and the value. If the value, you've tried to find the value, if the value is not there, you'll add the stat and then it'll add to that stat. We don't want to add, we want to set the stat and the value. Okay, so it's already set there. We already have the function. So now we need to go back to playfab, game mode color. That's where I change. So we have two things to do. First, check the back. Let's do the backend first. So we'll go to, I think it's the base script. And in here, we want to check playfab, air player data, I believe, or is it game data? Save game progress, player data. Save player stat. That's not what, let's say, let's do a void empty. I think empty is fine. Event listener. And then we're gonna do process, save player stats, playfab. Let's call it I'll just duplicate, or I'll show you where it's at. So we have these event channels. Where are they? Events, and we have a void event channel, or no, the no callback with callback. So we have an event channel. We don't care about the callback. We're just saving. So now save. That. Oh, so we need to do a get leaderboard stuff too, but so we need to set a level stat. So every time we level up, we're gonna save that information. Or I think I know. We won't need to do this right here. Okay, so I think I know what to do. Okay, so we have, because what happens is when the player dies, their level goes back. So let's go in here, double check. So save player stats. So what happens is it saves the user data from this local player stat, saves the player level. Okay, so when it saves that, we can now say, okay, so anytime it saves the stats in here, when we're done, in here it saves the coins, go to inventory, done. It saves the coins, inventory, the inventories. Okay, so we can in here set stat. Here we can do, what is the stats level? Okay, so let me see what the stat, oh, the string. Then we need to set, I think the string was level. Right, so when we save this, because what happens is when the player doesn't have the level finished, like saved, until he like goes back. So you might die midway through a dungeon and you were leveling up. you are getting coins, but you die. If you die, you don't retain anything from that. And so you have to be able to survive to keep the stuff that you want. Okay? And so because of that, I have to wait to save the stat. So we save the stat, and that's gonna add it to the leaderboard. Okay, so now let's see if we have any leaderboard stuff. I don't think I have any leaderboard stuff in here. Okay, so let's go back now. So this saves it, so the levels will now save forever. And I will upload this build so that way we can start seeing what level everybody's at. Okay, let's start looking at this because this is old code that I used. So I get the leaderboard, get my position, and I request the leaderboard. I'll do it at start. So every time you load the scene, you will load the leaderboard. And so you have the leaderboard name, which in this case is the level, I believe. So level is the name of the stat. If I understand correctly. Levels. That's the name of the leaderboard. Okay, and then leaderboard level, game color. Color, I have to figure that out. Okay, so the results 10. So we list the top 10 players. If the leaderboard count is greater than 0, we go through each player. The game mode color. So let's say, let's make it red. And then it will set the leaderboard name with leaderboard display name. Okay, so it'll set the game mode color. Why? Oh, okay. So the level red. Okay, so it'll give you the name, then they'll give you the different color. Yeah, so it sets stuff, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so we'll get it, and it'll set the text, and it'll be done. It'll get my position. So let's see how this is not gonna work at the beginning. Okay, so at the beginning, not gonna have anything, but that's why I'm gonna play it and we're gonna load this. Okay, so I think it's done for the most part. So let's test it. Okay, I'm gonna get my headset and we're gonna test it live. We're gonna add this to the leaderboard and good. Okay, hold on. And I will do a video with the updates showing all this on live because I don't want to have to wait probably for it to build. Okay. But this is really good progress. We have a leaderboard. And the main reason why I wanted to do a leaderboard with the levels is because as I was trying to organize myself and say, what is the most important thing for my game? And it is to make money. I need to figure out how to make money so that I can do this full time and actually give more to the community and to people that want to play this game. And in order to do that, I need to make money. So yeah, so it's like I need to figure out the subscription, and anything that has to do with subscription is number one. And the whole point of the game is to get stronger. And you get stronger by leveling up, getting more spells, and farming gear. That's what I'm gonna do. And so those things take priority over everything. The subscription model, so that you can feel more powerful and have uh, even to improve the player experience in the game. Basically, VIP for $5 a month, you will have everything you want, and you'll have a blast. That's the whole point of it. I also have, while my headset is loading, okay, I also have an idea for how to claim currency, premium currency in the game, so that players that play every day will get more and more and more every day. Um, okay, and then I have to figure out the free to play route and what to give those players so that they feel like they have something. Okay. Okay, let me link up now. Enable. Okay, so I'm in here and we're gonna look at playfab and I can show you at runtime to some extent. I don't think you'll see it because okay. Livestream. Okay, so might not be able to see it. I'll put it in a second. Um, okay, so we have, so that's me. Okay, so we're gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna give you a little bit in here so you can see stuff is going, the virtual currency. Okay, so we're gonna play for a little bit. Oh, yeah, sorry. We'll probably play for a little bit so then you can see what's going on. And we'll do it live. You can see everything that goes in the game. We're gonna, oh, and then we have in here, else, see, join, but it's not gonna work. Okay, gotta fix the rig. Still very small. I'm in the process of fixing the rig with the person that's making it because it's really small. But let's level up and let's get in the leaderboard. So the way, oh my gosh, this thing. Okay, yeah, the monsters are a little bit more annoying now. Um, I'm only gonna try to, and the thing is that my rig is not good, so I leveled up. I'm gonna definitely change this a little bit. Structure. Oh, crazy. Okay. 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 So guys. Okay. So it's gonna take a while to load. So I'm gonna go back. So the way it works is when you save, when you go back between scenes, they'll save for now. Okay. So as you can see now, I'm level 2. It has an S, but it's not inside. I need to add it to say level, and not. It doesn't need. Okay, so I need to change the strings, but it did save it to display the level. It's just that it says S for seconds because that was the old script. So let's sure that. Uh, turn off the air link so my headset doesn't run out of battery. So I'm gonna fix the levels and then we're done. It's pretty straightforward. But the thing is, like, when you focus on the essentials for your game, it's actually really nice because you feel like you get things done fast. Then we need to make this a prefab. On here, let's say, so instead of S, we want to say color, player name, item value. In here, we're gonna do this. Do gosh, I don't know, level space. We had like a few spaces. No, we had spaces in between. So we had space, space, and a space in there. Okay, and then we had the game mode color for the name, my position. Okay, so red. It didn't even do the game mode color red. I don't know why. I did this yellow, so this is fine. Oh, because it needs to be in hex value. Whoopsie, whatever this. I gotta say string game mode color hex. Okay, I need a string. In case I wanted the game mode color for the I don't really. And then that way, instead of this, we have level. Want to make sure. And then so we have the level, the position. So we don't want it in brackets. We just want a dash and a space. Okay, so we have the spacing. Remove that. Okay. So now if I don't need to do much, I'll put it as a prefab and then I'll show you because it's not going to require much. I don't even need my headset to show you. Prefab. And play. And you see now we have, oh, because I don't have a color hex. Boop, 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 boop. Getting there. Let me see. And this will only be a problem when you just start. Let me see what value do we want to put for those numbers? Y. Let's just do give it a Y. FF here. Although we have a prefab, that's the value. Okay. And the other thing, in case if you're worried that okay, like the formatting is not working, like instead of doing auto size, you can just do the size that it gave you, hard coded to that. So now I just like to auto size while I'm writing so that it faces out how I want it, regardless. But now the thing with this is if people like make it longer, it might not auto size, but we can always change. So see, so it goes this long, and so it's not gonna line up with everybody because they're all gonna be different. But we'll see how it goes. But that's the leaderboard, and it's working. Now I just need people to play and level up so that they can climb the leaderboard. Pretty straightforward. So we have that on leaderboards. And this upcoming week, all I'm gonna do is just focus on, again, the spells and interaction with the dungeon. So those two things, like the what people do in the dungeons, like with the unlocking doors and whatnot, and then um, being able to obtain new spells. That's pretty much it. We'll see ya next week on the stream. I'll make sure to update on what's going on and actually show more gameplay with the stuff.